On today's battlefield, brute force alone no longer guarantees victory. Russia's tanks and armored vehicles, once symbols of unstoppable ground power, now face a weapon designed to hunt them down. Fired from the shoulder, this system locks onto its target and delivers a strike with surgical precision, piercing armor once thought invincible. What unfolds is not chaos, but calculated dismantling, machines worth millions reduced to wreckage in seconds. For Ukraine, this is more than destruction. It is proof that innovation and strategy can tilt the balance of war, turning costly assets into liabilities and rewriting the future of combat. And in this video, we will uncover the Western-supplied weapon that has become a nightmare for Russian crews. At the start of the war, Russian tanks proved highly vulnerable to Ukraine's anti-tank units. Ukrainian forces initially relied on the Stugna-P, a domestically produced guided anti-tank missile system, and used it with remarkable effectiveness against Russian armored vehicles. Alongside this, Ukraine had already acquired the American-made Javelin ATGM, with reports that Kyiv purchased 210 missiles and 37 launchers in 2018, followed by another $150 million order 2 years later. On the battlefield, Ukrainian troops employed the Javelin to destroy Russian tanks and halt advancing columns, earning the weapon the reputation of being Ukraine's protector. Yet the Javelin's journey was not without challenges. In 2022, a Washington Post report revealed that thousands of Javelins supplied by the Pentagon were initially considered inoperable due to shortages of training modules, spare batteries, and other critical equipment. Over time, however, Kyiv received the intelligence and support needed to maximize the system's potential. Today, the Javelin remains a cornerstone of Ukraine's defense strategy, symbolizing both Western support and the shifting balance of modern warfare. With limited manpower and fewer technological resources compared to Russia's forces, Ukraine had to reshape the battlefield to survive. As Russian armored columns advanced toward Kyiv, Ukrainian defenders blocked key intersections and fortified critical positions. By disrupting supply lines and striking with anti-tank missiles, they managed to halt or destroy Russian vehicles, using the Javelin to break momentum and stall offensives. On February 28, 2022, CNN correspondent Matthew Chance described how a Russian tank was destroyed while attempting to cross a bridge. The footage revealed fallen soldiers and burning vehicles at a narrow choke point, an area that made approaching units easy targets. While the exact weapon used was not disclosed for security reasons, analysts noted that the destruction was likely caused by a Javelin, a system long employed to repel tanks. As Euronews reported, the US-made Javelin quickly became widely recognized as a cornerstone of Ukraine's defense against Russia's ongoing invasion. Since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, the United States has supplied Ukraine with more than 10,000 Javelin missiles. While the exact total from all sources remains undisclosed, Washington has provided the majority of these deliveries. The Javelin quickly became not only a critical weapon, but also a symbol of Ukraine's resistance, celebrated for its effectiveness in destroying Russian armored vehicles and halting advances across the front lines. Reports from the Pentagon underscored its extraordinary performance in the early stages of the war. Out of the first 112 Javelin missiles fired, 100 successfully struck their targets. This remarkable success rate reinforced the weapon's reputation as one of the most decisive Western contributions to Ukraine's defense. More than just hardware, the Javelin embodies the strategic partnership between Kyiv and its allies, reshaping the battlefield and proving that precision technology can neutralize brute force. First conceived during the Cold War, the FGM-148 Javelin was developed under the Tank Breaker program led by DARPA. The U.S. Army sought a replacement for its underperforming M47 Dragon anti-tank missile and awarded the development contract to a joint venture between Martin Marietta and Texas Instruments. After years of testing and overcoming technical hurdles, the Javelin entered service with infantry units in the mid-1990s. By 1997, the Department of Defense approved full-scale production, marking the arrival of a new generation of portable anti-tank weaponry. As a fire-and-forget system, the Javelin allows its operator to remain concealed after launch, avoiding counterfire and increasing survivability. Measuring roughly 1.2 meters in length and weighing 22 kilograms, it is compact enough to be carried by a single soldier, yet powerful enough to destroy modern armored vehicles. While designed primarily as a shoulder-fired weapon, it can also be mounted on wheeled or tracked platforms. Remarkably, proficiency requires only about 72 hours of classroom training, an enormous improvement over the M47 Dragon, which demanded 10 days. The widespread use of Javelin missiles in Ukraine has had ripple effects far beyond the battlefield. As thousands of these systems were supplied by the United States, concerns emerged over the rapid depletion of NATO stockpiles and the sustainability of long-term support. Analysts noted that Ukrainian forces often fired javelins in large volleys to stop Russian advances, raising questions among Western militaries about resource management and the need to expand production capacity. At the same time, Russia has attempted to exploit battlefield losses by claiming to have captured Western weapons, a narrative used to undermine confidence in NATO's supply chain and highlight vulnerabilities in logistics. Beyond military stockpiles, the Javelin's deployment has reshaped global defense markets and supply chains. Demand for critical materials used in missile guidance systems, such as germanium for infrared sensors, has surged since 2022, driving prices sharply upward and straining availability worldwide. The weapon's reputation as a highly effective tank killer has also boosted interest among allied nations, reinforcing U.S. leadership in arms exports while intensifying debates over dependency on American technology. In this way, the Javelin has become more than a battlefield tool. It is a symbol of shifting geopolitical power, influencing both military strategy and global economic dynamics. In the end, the story of Russia's tanks reduced to scrap metal is not only about destroyed machines, it's about the transformation of modern warfare. The FGM-148 Javelin has proven that precision, mobility, and innovation can overturn brute force, reshaping the battlefield in ways few imagined at the start of the war. For Ukraine, each successful strike is both survival and defiance, while globally, the Javelin has come to symbolize Western support and the shifting balance of power. Victory in the wars of tomorrow will not be decided by sheer numbers alone, but by the weapons, strategies, and alliances that turn steel giants into ruins, and this is how Western weapons have changed the course of history, turning Russia's tanks into scrap metal.